Hello. So, I'm Autumn and I cheated high school. Kind of crazy. Because, yeah, cheating is not necessarily a good thing, and a lot of people have negative connotations when it comes to cheating, which I get. I did something a lot of people don't really consider doing when they first enter high school, and I kind of knew right away going into high school that I did not like high school, as a lot of people don't. And I thought I was forced to be there all 4 years, and I told myself that for a long time, but I made my own way, and that's what I'm here to share with you right now. It's gonna be controversial because people don't like cheating. People don't like, people talking negatively about school. Let me just preface, I am in college. I am no way saying don't do school. But a part of me knew that high school just wasn't for me, and I just want to be of resource to students in high school stuck. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where I'm going. All I'm doing is stuck in this boring ass school. So, yeah, let's get started. So, use your teachers. That sounds really bad, the way I said it, but they're supposed to be resources to you. And I say that with, like, all sincerity. I had shitty high school teachers. Very shitty high school teachers. Sorry, anyone that may know me personally, but I also had some really freaking awesome teachers. And the teachers that were awesome really pushed me through to the point where, I was able to do a lot of things I didn't think I could. It's crazy. I mean, I wasn't necessarily the kid that needed a lot of help on homework or stuff like that, but I was a student that asked for the extensions, that spoke to my teachers before and after class. Like, I asked questions, I stayed curious, and I spent a lot of my lunches in teachers' classrooms. Not because I had to, not because of punishment, not because of obligation, but because I genuinely felt that I wanted to be the teacher's friend, and I wanted this connection. And it really pushed me through to the point where I felt like I could be confident in myself and in my abilities. And I'm not the strongest in school. I'm not. I have ADHD, can't tell, and that pushed a lot of challenges in me educationally. And those teachers helped me. They helped me a lot. So another thing is building your own schedule. Crazy. You can build your own schedule in high school. Yeah, you can. And people think, only college, because high school you have to go from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. or whatever time. You don't really have to. I know it's kind of crazy to think, wow, I don't really have to be in school for like 6 hours a day. In the case of you're a freshman or sophomore, sorry, you probably will have to stay. But you build your schedule around what you can do, about what you think is going to benefit you in the future. I knew I'm a night owl, always been a night owl. In middle school, I was the type of student staying up till 4 a.m. working on assignments. Like, I did not sleep in high school. But for me, I noticed my day, I could not focus. During the day. Absolutely not. Like, not even a little. So I was like, okay, clearly I need more time in the morning. So my junior/senior year of high school, because cheating the system, I graduated early. So basically, my junior/senior year of high school, I made my mornings pretty low in terms of standard. I had a free period in the mornings, and then one of my other days I had a class that was built on self-work. It was my AP Research class, and I'm sorry, AP Research teacher, but sleep was a priority that year. And I didn't go to a lot of classes. The classes I did go to, though, I try to make the most of. But I built my own schedule. I made it so that I could wake up when I wanted to wake up, and I could get to school at a decent hour, but that wouldn't fry my brain out. And it made me better in a lot of my classes, and it gave me the opportunity to work on other things that I felt were more important at the time. For me, in high school, a big thing was my motivation for leaving high school early. I wanted to do better than I was. I knew that I had a lot of opportunities ahead, and I knew that it took me graduating early to do that, because if I stayed another year in that school, I would lose my mind. Like, seriously, lose my mind. I could not stand the way school was standardly. I needed something else. I needed to be able to do my thing, to do me, because I tried. I really tried. Those 3 years, I worked my butt off. I tried. But high school was just not it. I knew if I changed my mindset to be, but if I work hard, then I'll be able to graduate early and do the things I really want to do. That flip meant everything to me. It meant everything. It changed the way I viewed life. I mean, I was just happier as a person because I knew that I had bigger things ahead of me. And I was in peace with that. That's what pushed me through my last year of high school. So for me, a big thing was parents, my family. You can't do it alone. That's so cliche to say, but you can't do it alone. I mean, sure, the homework you're doing alone, most of your college stuff you're probably doing alone, but you do need people. And for me, I tried to do it alone for a long time, and I couldn't. My friends really helped. They really helped. Every time I was like, I think maybe I should just stay another year in high school. You know, how really, how hard could it be to just stay one more year? They were like, no, Autumn, you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be absolutely miserable. And I'm like, you're right. I probably would be miserable. So they helped push me. They catapulted me into my goals, my dreams, and they really kind of gave me that sense of security that I had a lot of security in myself, but they gave me the security of I can do it. They motivated me. It was just like my teachers, and with my parents too. Like, my parents, it was really hard for a long time with them, because they're not old school per se, but they didn't really trust me. And my parents have a lot of anxiety, and they struggle a lot with their controlling their emotions and how they feel, and they really could not get behind the idea that I don't need another year of high school. They kept thinking, you're gonna fall behind. You're not gonna be as smart as the other kids in college. You're not. How are you gonna maintain this? How are you gonna pay for this? How are you gonna do this? What? I mean, they could not get behind the idea at all, for like months, until I could prove to them that I could do it. And that was through my academics. That was through me getting into college, and I mean, a bunch of things, maturing and all that stuff. But I think they could see the drive in me that I needed to get out, and so they eventually came around to the idea. But when my parents didn't believe in me, and they could argue that they were there for me, but when they couldn't get around the idea of me going away, then getting out of high school, going to university, my friends were there, my teachers were there. I mean, they really had it. They were my support system through that period of time. They helped me think about college when my parents said they probably would not allow me to go to university. They my teachers were the ones that helped me write my college essay before I could work on it with my mom, which later on she did help me with that. My teachers were the ones that motivated me to take AP and college courses in high school because they said it would help me out. And it did. It really, really did. So you can't do it alone. I mean, heck, not to give credit to this person, but there was someone in my life at the time, and he was doing the same thing before I did it, and he encouraged me to do the stuff with him so that when it came time, I could do it. And I don't give him credit for a lot of it, but he planted the idea in my head, which helped. And those people in my life became a genuine resource to me, and not in a professional way. I mean, they're my friends, right? But they helped. And if you talk to your friends about this stuff, some of them might laugh at me like, yeah, you graduating early, you cheating high school, you making your own schedule, yeah, you can't do that. I mean, do you see your grades? You're getting C's in all your classes. It doesn't matter. You can still do it. You can still do it. I mean, you have to have a plan going into it. Making your own schedule, making a plan. I mean, you don't necessarily need to know what you want to do in your life, what you want to do in college. I mean, what college you want to go to. It really doesn't matter. In high school, if you are done with high school and you want to get the hell out of there, that needs to be your goal. You need to start thinking of, what can I do to get out of here the fastest? For me, you need 4 credits of English to leave high school. I wanted the year I decided I wanted to graduate early was sophomore year, and I still had 2 more credits, and I had, I believe, another science one I had to do, and I was like, okay, crap. Well, how do I get my credits, right? How do I get my credits? First, talk to your counselor. Mine, I have trauma from my counselor. That was a really rough relationship, but talk to your counselor and see what can you do. What classes would go for what? For me, taking AP seminar, part of capstone. Later I found out it did help me in college, really, with my credit wise, but it really helped me with the knowledge piece. But like with the capstone, I could get my English credits and my seminar credit through AP seminar. So that's what I did. With AP research, I could get I believe it was a science one if I took it, and I did that. But a lot of it was me working at the kinks, like what classes would go for what. Or if I took this early, would that help me leave space for these classes that would help me graduate early? And if you think if you don't think it's that lenient, you need to full on ask your counselor. If I, wanted to leave a year early, can you lay out for me all of the credits I need, all the classes in the school that the school offers would go for what? And you need to look yourself, because you can't trust them. I'm gonna be honest. You can't trust your counselors. I mean, half of them have like 100 kids under their belt. Like, it's understandable when you look at it, but you can't trust them for your needs specifically. And so that is something you need to do, and that's something you need to initiate. But yeah, and with the relationships with teachers, let me paint a picture of what my senior/junior year looked like for you. I had a group of friends. We loved to travel. We loved to drive. I was in theater at the time. I had so many things I liked doing. I want to graduate early though. So how I managed my time was crazy. And a lot of teachers are going to be like, don't do that. But this is what worked for me, is I would spend the nights finishing my homework or a project or whatever else I was doing. Then the next day I'd wake up around 10 a.m., I'd get ready and then be in class by 11. And then I would have 3 classes because I either skipped my first class or I didn't have a class first period. And I would do my 3 classes, and then after that I would do any social thing or, have fun. I mean, during the school day, let me be clear, I did homework during my classes. I know some classes, be present, please, be present. But some classes are genuinely, like, you will have better experience in college if you choose to do that. And so, for me, it was like, I prioritized what was important, right? If I had an AP U.S. history project due in 2 hours, I'm not going to sit and take notes on my teacher's lecture. I'm going to work on this project, if that makes sense. Same way in college. You prioritize your shit. So for me, I did that. I prioritized what was important and what wasn't necessarily important. My lunches, I don't recommend not eating, but I would take naps in my car and then I would eat in class. As long as it's not a class that's super strict on that, then it's fine. But you multitask a lot when you're doing this. You find your way. And I think that's what's important, is you find a groove. Was it fucking hard for me to cheat the system? To not do all 4 years? To not, whatever? Yes. And let me preface, you cannot go into this thinking, oh, yeah, I just need to take some extra classes and I'm good. No, it's a whole mindset. It's a whole mindset change of, okay, I'm doing this because I want this and I can get support through this. Once you have that around, you're good to go. And I talked a lot about support system. If you don't have a lot of friends, if your parents aren't supportive of this, there are ways. It's going to be a lot harder for you though. And that if you can come to terms with that, I'm probably going to have to work multiple jobs over the summer to pay for this, then do it. Also, your parents aren't in control of your classes. I hope everyone takes that in their brain. Your parents may tell you, I want you to take this, I need you to take this class. You don't actually have to. I'm sorry. Not to normalize lying, but like if it's between your parents' approval versus you doing your thing and graduating early, or you doing your thing and getting college credit, do that. Because my parents would tell you, they were not supportive of this at all for a long time. And the amount of college level classes I was taking in high school was insane, an insane number. I think I did 9 in 3 years. Not as insane as it sounds, I guess. But like, I worked to the bone. I was in my senior year, I was working a job too. And I worked for a year to save money. So I was doing all these college classes. Again, I had a social life, and I was doing all that. And it was hard. It was really hard. But if you don't have the support system, and you still want to do what I did, which was, graduate early, then there's going to be some things, the picture I painted out for you, there's going to be some things you probably have to sacrifice. Like, instead of having a lot of friends you hang out with after school like I did, you might have to pick up another job. Or you might have to work long hours during the weekends. Or, you may have to find other things that will give you that support and motivation. But I think starting early, if you know freshman year that high school isn't for you, school isn't for you, get an early start. Get hard class out of the way. Take that AP Bio class. Take that AP Stats class. if you in your brain, if you have the motivation of, I will make myself learn this subject early than my peers, I will make myself do this, then do it. Realistically, there's nothing stopping you. I mean, again, your parents are in control of that. I mean, your counselor has somewhat of a control, but work with them. And if they are, like, crappy to you, go to a different counselor. I had 2 counselors by the end of my high school experience. Mainly because I was a junior graduating early, so I needed a senior, whatever. But find people. Talk to your teachers. Talk to your principal. I talked to my principal when I was in high school. I said, hey, yo, I'm graduating early. What are you going to do about that? Nothing. They're not. Because they don't really have that power. Sure, your counselors can send an email to your parents, which is shitty, by the way. But if they do that, so what? Your parents are going to scold you for a week. You might get your phone taken away for a bit. I mean, I don't know your parents' relationship, but find your way. Find a way. If you need to take secretive class, I took classes online through my community college. If you can take secret classes online and you submit your transcript to your high school, they can't deny it. Like, if it matches up, it matches up. And guess what? That credit will count for college. Easy, simple, done. But a lot of it has to do with your work ethic. Like, you need to want this. Yeah. You can't just be like, yeah, and it's an easy fix. No, it's not an easy fix, but it's a fix. It's a fix. Yeah, be adaptable, you know. Realize that not every class is going to go well. I learned that in college, but not every class is going to go your way. And, you know, I've personally never gone to the point of failing a class. But again, if you're not very well versed in school and you fail, like, that isn't the end of the world. And I say that as, like, I was an A and B student all of high school, but, like, truly, like, it may make it harder for you to accomplish this goal of graduating early and stuff, but it's okay. It's okay. I think the biggest point I want to make is don't let anyone define you. Don't let your counselors define you. Don't let your parents define you. Don't let your friends define you. If they tell you it's a stupid idea and that they would prefer, you know, whatever, then fuck them. Then, like, fuck them, because so many people told me I was crazy. So many. My parents were not supportive. I mean, some of my friends weren't supportive of it. I mean, some of my teachers were like, well, guess what? You're not going to be able to. Look at me now. Like, that's my message here, is look at where you're at. And I was, a sophomore in high school? If you're a sophomore, even junior in high school right now, just think, like, I want to be done this year, or I want to be done next year. You can do that. Work with it. You know, if you have to take those college classes over the summer, fucking do it. I did it. I took multiple college classes on top of my high school classes. Make it work. It's up to you. It's you. It's no one else is in charge of your destiny but yourself. And find those resources if you do have them, because that will help you a lot. But yeah. And if you know you want to go to university, start prepping early. I'm not even joking about that. Prep early. If you're a sophomore wanting to graduate in your junior year, prep then. Start prepping now. I mean, write out budget. By the end, once my parents came around, we made a spreadsheet. We had a whiteboard with everything on it. I mean, I was working, like I said, so know your finances is a big thing, and plan ahead. Start working on your college essay early. Have your teachers look at it a bunch. I mean, I drove my teachers crazy, but, like, yeah. Know yourself, know what you're good at, know what you can do, and you've got this.
Don't let anyone shake you.
Don't let anyone define you. I mean, listen, I cheated high school, by all the shit I did, because you don't just do what I did. Like, you think about it, you plan it, but, like, you can do it. I believe in you. So that's my message. But, yeah. Know yourself.